evening. I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. And seated at our table tonight, photographer, writer, historian, Sally Asher. Once again, here to discuss her brand new book, Stories from the St. Louis Cemeteries of New Orleans. Welcome, dear. Great to see you. Hello. And Poppy Tooker, host of the WWNO radio program, Louisiana Eats. Hey, Miss Poppy.
Hi, Peg.
Hi there. And pianist and composer and great guy and longtime friend, Harry Mayronne, here to discuss Happy End, musical opening in December 10th to be precise, and we'll have a performance a little later too.
Yes, we
Hello,
will.
Mr. Harry. And Steppin Out theater critic, Alan Smason, who was also the editor of the Crescent City Jewish News. But first up, celebrating the holidays with Poppy.
Well, we got that turkey thing over with, so now we can move on to the big festivities. And anybody who has not been back to the Roosevelt lobby for Christmas, for goodness sake, go. The lobby lighting ceremony is going to be Tuesday at 5:15, and what a spectacular moment when the lights come on. And one of the most fun things to do over there is the teddy bear tea. And it runs Saturdays, Sundays, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Christmas week, and there's seatings that range from 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., depending on which day of the week. And it's so much fun for kids. And the general reserve seating, it's free for ages 2 and under, and then 3 to 10 are $45, and 11 and adults is $65, and it's just an incredible experience. And they even have a VIP thing, which really gets crazy. You get a Roosevelt champagne flute, you get a commemorative photo for each family, premium seating right under the stage, and oh my goodness, there's an exclusive VIP reserve table of 10 that includes enhanced food, stockings for kids, a premier aisle, character book signings, experiences for children, keepsake ornaments for adults. It's just an incredible, incredible, incredible good time. So if you've got some little ones, take them to the teddy bear tea. And there's going to be so much fun in the French Quarter starting this week. Starting on December 3rd, the Hotel Monteleone is going to light up the 200 block of Royal Street, and their lobby and hotel interior is going to be so beautiful with the gigantic, beautiful live Christmas tree. And they're going to have local school choirs caroling in the lobby from weekdays, Thursday, December 3rd through Friday, December 18th, 10 a.m. to 1:30. So sweet to go hear the children sing. And then over at the Royal Sonesta, there's just more fun. If you've never been to the lighting of the balconies, this is the 10th one. It's a little more exciting even than the greasing of the poles. You know, the greasing of the poles. So that's going to also happen Tuesday, December 1st at 6 p.m. There'll be music by the Pfister Sisters. Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus will be there. The Saints will be there with the Saints mascots. And they're very, very giving towards Children's Hospital. So there's going to be 2 patients from Children's Hospital that will flip the lights on. They'll have choirs in the lobby weekdays at noon every day, and they do a royal teddy bear tea, and that's a really special experience. Now, that doesn't begin until Saturday, December the 12th, and they have 2 seatings on Saturdays and Sundays, and then also Tuesday and Wednesday of Christmas week. Every little prince and princess are crowned as they enter into the magical royal kingdom. The whole grand ballroom is transformed into a winter wonderland. There's story time with Mrs. Claus, a sing-along with Rudolph, the sugar plum fairies, the marching toy soldiers. Word has it, Santa himself will be making a special appearance all the way from the North Pole. And you can get photos with Santa after each seating. What fun. And the Réveillon dinners in the city. We're talking
a big deal.
Next week, we're going to talk Réveillon dinners and a lot of other very special Christmas events that nobody who lives in this wonderful place where we're so lucky to be should miss. Réveillon dinners, look online, make your reservations.
Thank you so much, Poppy.
Thanks, Peg.
And Sally, I so applaud over the past few years. You have just been sort of ravenous about going after research about Prohibition, and this time, and the names of streets in terms of these wonderful books. But now, this time, it's the cemeteries and the St. Louis cemeteries. And you know, we're so used to saying St. Louis Cemetery, but there's not one, there's not 2, there's 3 cemeteries, and you have put it into a beautiful new book.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to focus
This time in the book, I wanted to focus more on the individuals. And I felt like if people actually knew who was buried there and what their story was, it would give them a greater appreciation. A lot of the books that I had seen focused a lot on architecture or really beautiful photos with kind of no historical context. And I said if they know who was buried in these grand tombs or these humble tombs, it would make them appreciate our cemeteries even more.
Now this one, where is that?
That's in number 3, and that was the famous Storyville photographer Belloc. That was that's Nicolas Cage's tomb with the kisses, or his tomb to be. That's number 1. That's a sunrise shot in the morning.
Oh, how beautiful.
And that's number 3. They say you can hear the angel wings flapping in number 3. There are so many angels in the cemetery.
Now let's go through them. St. Louis, number 1, some famous people in number 1.
Marie Laveau is kind of the rock star of St. Louis, number 1, but there's also Bernard Maroney, there's Homer Plessy is there, Nicolas Cage allegedly is going to be there one day, that they say. But those 3 are probably some of the most important
and then number
ones.
2.
Number 2, it is like a who's who of the Reconstruction era. They also have Claude Treme is in there, Henriette Delille is in there, Oscar Dunn is in there, Dookie Chase, the original Dookie Chase from the restaurant is in there, as well as Dominic Yu, the pirateer from Jean Lafitte. There's also some other duelists, some pirates, some Mardi Gras Indians, Jordan Noble, who was the drummer boy from the Battle of 1812.
Now,
it's amazing.
both of those are right outside the quarter. But St. Louis, number 3, which is a great trivia question, explain where that one is.
That one's kind of by the racetrack. It's between the racetrack and the museum. And we had shown the tomb of Belloc before, which is interesting because his photos are now in permanent collection at the New Orleans Museum. He's facing the museum in that direction. And in number 3, there's Ernest Belloc that we mentioned, James Gallier. The famous architect. We have Jean Galatois, we have Tujac, we have the Camorra sisters.
Restaurants.
They have a section in the front that they call the Chef's Corner, but only Galatois is actually buried there. Tujac is buried in the back.
Of course, right across the street from Cabrini High School, too.
Yes.
It's enormous. I love some of and you showed one of them earlier, some of the benevolent society tombs. They're enormous.
They're amazing. One of the ones that were shown was the Italian, which kind of, I feel like, is the anchor of St. Louis, number 1. And I actually found a photo. There's a rumor that Easy Rider, that was filmed there. The Archdiocese was like, that's it, no more pictures, no more films unless they're documentaries, because it ended up being this kind of LSD sex romp through the cemetery.
I remember that scene.
Yeah, and there was the rumor there's Charity and Italia on each side of the tomb, and all the sides of the mother and her children, their heads are gone. And actually through Tulane, I was able to find a photo that showed when they actually had their heads on, which that's very rare.
Hey, you know what else Sally did in this book that's really remarkable? If you love going to cemeteries like I do, she lets you know where these tombs are, because these are really hard to find. But she's got the instructions in the book.
Great point, yes.
It's hard, it's difficult because it's very kind of reminiscent of New Orleans, where they have the streets labeled, but there's no street signs visible. So the street might be called something, but there's no street sign to guide you. So that was quite a task to go through and try and describe where these tombs are, because you can't just say it's on St. Louis Street on the corner of this, because there's no street signs that mark them.
Now, 1 and 2 right now, aren't their hours somewhat curtailed?
One is curtailed right now. There's rumors they're going to do that to 2 and 3. 1, you can't go in without a licensed tour guide, except Louisiana residents can go on All Saints Day if they show their driver's license, and if you know someone that's buried, you can get a pass, or you can get a research pass like I did.
Yeah, it's a pity it's so limited. Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about it. It's somewhat our own fault. People were, breaking into tombs, littering constantly, constant vandalism, and I think the Archdiocese just said enough is enough. Yeah.
Now you have some signings coming up.
Yes, I have on Wednesday, December 2nd, I'm doing one at Pearl Wine Company. It's Reading Between the Wines. And on Friday, December 4th, I will be with the lovely Poppy Tooker at the Roosevelt Hotel in the lobby, and we may or may not be enjoying Sazeracs.
We will be.
And you also have a website of all things Sally Asher? Or?
Yes, Sally Asher Arts, and on my Facebook page, which is Sally Asher Arts, I've actually created folders where I put some of the photographs in that didn't make it in the book. I shot about 12,000 photographs and had
That's
to.
a lot of photos.
Yeah, and then it's
Okay.
like, do I want this at a different angle? Do I want to show the whole tomb a little, night or day? But it really does. It really tells the stories of kind of the famous and the infamous and the unknown, and the footprint and the legacy they left in New Orleans, whether big or small.
I appreciate the effort very much.
Thank
so.
you.
Good to see
Thank you.
And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Louis O'Dwyer named 2 quarterbacks who played for Ole Miss. One retired to New Orleans, and the other was raised here, Archie Manning and Eli Manning. Okay, now tonight's question. These 2 parishes are the top producers of Louisiana citrus. Name them. Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes, a year subscription to Louisiana Life magazine. And tonight we have a t-shirt is worn by WYES intern John Pounders with the message, "Deck the halls with balls of Boudin." That's very clever. From our clever friends at wearablevegetables.com. And you can visit wyes.org for our online calendar to see our lineup of events, including the sale of authentic carnival float art at Met Boutique on Magazine Street. That's starting tomorrow. And the Arts Council of New Orleans has an arts market tomorrow and Sunday at Palmer Park. We'll get ready for Christmas, huh? And Lunar Fête 2015, a series of very versatile installations of lots of lights that will light up Lafayette Square and Julia and O.C. Haley. So go to their website. That starts Sunday through December the 5th. And you can link to our WYES YouTube channel to view our program if you miss it on our homepage. And now to Harry. And I probably have said this many times before, but Harry and I were in plays together at Nord Theater.
In German class.
And German class. Thank you for that, too. We were teenagers, and I so applaud that you keep the drive going with all the, speaking of German, we'll get to that in a moment, especially with your love of Brecht. You did Threepenny Opera a few years back, and now this is part deux in a way, huh?
Yes, well, Dennis Mann and Zelia Beville, who run the Allways Lounge, had produced Threepenny Opera with Cripple Creek. This is an Allways Lounge production this year. It's Happy End was Brecht and Weill's follow-up production to Threepenny Opera, which had become a huge hit, which perturbed Brecht a bit. Because he meant to make a political message, give a political message, and the elite fell in love with it, and it annoyed him a bit. So when Happy End came about, the way that came about was the producer said, "We have such a huge hit with Threepenny Opera, why don't I get you two to do another one?" And they somewhat reluctantly did it. And what happened is, the legend has it that on opening night, Brecht's wife, Helene Weigel, who played a leading role at the end of the show, went into a reading of the Communist Manifesto and pretty much was the end of Happy End for a number of years.
Look at your illustrations. You are quite the illustrator, sir.
Oh, thank you. This is a rehearsal. Dennis is in the lower corner, and Chris Wecklein, who's on the show today. This is the Salt Wives, a fabulous band there are 2 more actually in the band in here. And they play cabaret music of Jacques Brel, Kurt Weill, and Brecht, and I'm going to be working with them performing the music. And
now, in just a moment, we're going to be hearing Pandora. Tell us about the song we're about to hear.
Azor Bahia Johnny is a song, it's one of the few serious moments in the show, and Pandora Gastelum sings this beautiful song.
And the premise is pretty much about Chicago thugs, a little bit of guys and dolls, but on a serious
It's
side.
a group of gangsters meet up with the Pandora's with the Salvation Army, and she sings this to one of the gangsters.
Okay, and now we will hear. We're delighted to have Pandora, and she will be singing, Pandora Gastelum that is, singing Sorabaya Johnny, accompanied by Harry Mayronne.
I had just turned 16 that season when you came up from Burma to stay, and you told me I ought to travel with you. You were sure it would be okay. When I asked how you made your living, I can still hear what you said to me. You had some kind of job with the railway and had nothing to do with the sea. You said a lot, Johnny, all one big lie, Johnny. You cheated me blind. of your mouth, you rat. Surabaya, Johnny, no one's meaner than you. Surabaya, Johnny, my God, and I still love you so. Surabaya, Johnny, why am I feeling so blue? You have no heart, Johnny, and I still love you so. At the start, every day was Sunday, till we went on our way one fine night. And before 2 more weeks were over, you thought nothing I did was right. So we trekked up and down through the Punjab, from the source of the river to the sea. When I look at my face in the mirror, there's an old woman staring back at me. You didn't want love, Johnny. You wanted cash, Johnny. But I saw your lips, Johnny, and that was that. You're still my love, Johnny, like the day we met, Johnny. Take that damn pipe out of your mouth, you rat. Surabaya, Johnny, no one's meaner than you. Surabaya, Johnny, my God, and I still love you so. Surabaya, Johnny, why am I feeling so blue? You have no heart, Johnny, and I still love you so. Though your name should have told me different, I had hoped we would soon settle down. But in every saloon on the coastline, they would cheer when you came to town. And one day in a two-bit flop house, all awake to the roar of the sea, and you leave without one word of warning on that ship waiting down at the quay. You have no heart, Johnny. You're just a louse, Johnny. How can you go, Johnny, and leave me flat? You're still my love, Johnny, like the day we met, Johnny. Take that damn pipe out of your mouth, you rat. Surabaya, Johnny, no one's meaner than you. Surabaya, Johnny, my God, and I still love you so. Surabaya, Johnny, why am I feeling so blue? You have no heart, Johnny, and I still love you so.
Wow. Once again, Happy End opens December 10th at the Allways Lounge. And now it's time for our weekly Artist Spotlight. Tonight we are featuring Lafitte Guest House at Christmas by Diane Millsap, a resident of rural Illinois. Millsap received formal training at Western Illinois and from her mom, an accomplished watercolor artist. Millsap's work has mainly focused on New Orleans in the past decade. Prints are available for $50 through Lafitte Guest House on Bourbon Street, and you can call to place an order. They are offering shipping as well, and she's represented locally by Caco Gallery. You can visit their website or the artist's website to see more of her really beautiful work. Also, we are featuring Streaming Light. We had featured it a few weeks ago by Sandra Burchell a couple of weeks ago, but I wanted to show it to you again because our graphics unfortunately had the wrong title and artist on the piece, and it is so lovely. We apologize for that technical snafu. Burchell is represented by the Carol Robinson Gallery on Napoleon and Magazine Uptown, and visit their website to see more. And now, Ellen.
Well, you know, it's been 3 weeks of concentrated theater, food, food, a little bit of drinking every now and then with the people who did the Faux Real New Orleans Festival. And, the fact of the matter is, I think it got a pretty high thumbs up in terms of overall ability for them to translate, putting this from paper into actual action. I thought that they did a very good job of assembling a number of really wonderful acts. And I thought that maybe some of the recap that we could talk a little bit about is some of the things that make a fringe-type festival so special. And one of the things I wanted to show off was Becca Chapman and Alex Smith. They did clowning. Now, Becca had been a established actress around town with the NOLA project and several other pieces she had done. But here she gets an opportunity to work with Alex Smith doing clowning and an impromptu type of thing where they would actually show up at the venues and perform for 10, 15 minutes, and then they go off to another venue. So it was really kind of cool. And this is one of the best things that's about a fringe-type festival, these sort of small things. I would also say one of the things that also is really good about this type of opportunity is when you get to see a show like the Ann Sexton show that Diana Shortez did, so wonderful, of white sauce and diaper babies, a fabulous hour-and-a-half show, riveting performance, and she's going to probably take that on the road. But also Rebecca Mwasi's, who worked with Kathy Randalls with Art Spot Productions, she did Looking for a Broad at the theater at St. Claude, Jim Fitzmaurice's and Ryan Fitzmaurice's new theater, and it was 3 weeks that they did this show, and it was just playing to packed houses, and it was a really revealing kind of an insight into her actual life, talking about her body, talking about her journey to find herself sexually. There's a lot of things that, obviously a lot of people would find difficulty saying. This was a very tough show, I'm sure, for her. But her parents were actually in the audience, and she had them serve Ethiopian food because, of course, they hail from Ethiopia originally, and that's one of the shots I wanted to show. Some of the interesting things, the after parties were so fascinating. Again, this is part of what is now going to be part of, we hope, an established festival here, Faux Real, 3 weeks out of the year. But I just found out, believe it or not, that the original founding artistic member for the New Orleans Fringe, Dennis Mon, who was mentioned just a little while ago at the Allways Lounge and Theater, now, of course, with Jim Fitzmaurice's the theater at St. Claude and Ryan Fitzmaurice, they now are going to put on a Fringe Festival. During that same week that we always talked about was open. Or if you remember, we had the Ponchatoula Strawberry Festival and the New Orleans French Quarter Festival, and then we had Jazz Fest at the end. Well, right in that section in between, that third week in April, they're going to put on a Fringe Festival again. Now, I don't know whether or not this is a good thing or a bad thing. We're going to have to find out a little bit more about it, but it sounds like it should be good. We'll see. If you need more information, there's the information about the story. Now, coming up this week at the Sanger Theater, one of my favorite musicals from 3 years ago on Broadway was based on an earlier Disney work called Newsies. And it is really one of the most wonderful shows, singing, dancing, over the top. Let me tell you, it has more movement than a Swiss watch. It's fabulous. And again, if you haven't seen the movie, I recommend you seeing it. Academy Award winners Christian Bale and Robert Duvall are in it. And again, the musical on Broadway starred Jeremy Jordan. A great musical. You will love this. It's going to get your toes a tapping and get the kids all really enjoying. And again, that's going to be opening up on December the 1st and playing until the weekend. Then at the New Orleans Museum of Art, we have The Winter's Tale opening up. This is going to be the NOLA Project's newest, I guess you might say, incursion over at the museum. This, of course, follows in the success of Romeo and Juliet that they had last year, and previous to that, they had Twelfth Night. I got to tell you, this is going to be, to me, a great cast. Some of the people involved in it: Sean Glazebrook, Kristen Wittershine, Monica Harris, Chris Maroy, Kyle Woods, James Bartell, Keith Clavery, Michael Kokorki, and I may name just a few. So get a chance to get over there. It's going to probably be sold out like all of the productions, but that's going to be coming up again on December the 1st as well. And also coming up at Rivertown Theater's Performing Arts, the Fancy Nancy Splendiferous Christmas is going to be shown. This is based on the national book that was on. This will be a kids show, and they are going to be offering, go to their website, they're going to be offering a tea and brunch for the younger set on the show dates for December the 5th and the 6th. A little extra charge for that, but it should be fun for the kids for Christmas, okay?
That's really funny. Thank you so much. Now time for our Picks of the Week. Sally, a quick pick.
December 4th, Roosevelt Hotel, 5 to 7, me and Poppy.
All right, Poppy.
Tomorrow at SoFab, Chef Tori McPhail, 1 to 3, showing off his new line of sauces, cooking healthy, and WYES Season of Good Taste dinner at Feelings Cafe, Tuesday, December 1st.
Sounds fun. Yes.
Delicious.
Mr. Harris.
December 5th at Allways Lounge, I will be with Mink Stoll, Vincentos, and Dr. Sick in Mink Stoll's Christmas show. It's Merry Christmas, damn it.
Very good.
Oh, and I just missed a show that I want to be able to tell people about. They had added 2 more shows. This is Goat in the Road Productions, Uncle Vanya, Quarter Crisis. So check it out. It's basically the Uncle Vanya tale, but updated for the New Orleans.
Quarter Life Crisis. I love it, the title. And now My Pics, the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts Holiday Marketplace, featuring creations from NOCA's culinary students, led by chefs Dana Toohey and Jesse Whittakin. Available through December 15th. Orders may be shipped or picked up on Fridays at the Press Street Station, the restaurant on NOCA's campus. Sales benefit NOCA's culinary program. And don't miss Musica de Camera's Christmas concert, a joyous occasion, music for the holidays with Vox Femina, this Sunday at 3 p.m. at St. Joseph Abbey in St. Benedict. Visit their website for more info on that. And a quick addition, Tom Varisco and Eric Winkowski signed their new photo book, Look Up and Looking Down at New Orleans. That's next Thursday at 6 p.m. at Octavia Books. Included are essays by John Bigonnet. And now we leave you with Chris Wecklein and Levy Easterly singing Song of the Big Shot, once again from Happy End, accompanied by Harry Mayronne. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.
If you want to be a big shot, start by learning to be tough.
'Cause you never hit the jackpot till you like the going rough.
All the little shots below you will be blown away like fluff.
If they realize when they know you that you won't take all their guff.
Just don't get soft, babe. For God's sake, never get soft, babe. Just keep on pounding him right where it hurts the most. And if a little shot's big noise should cause a bother, don't let it get you down. I mean, you're not his father. Just don't get soft, babe. For God's sake, never get soft, babe. No ifs or buts, go on and kick him in the guts, go on and kick him in the guts.